Hi, Katherine. My name is Ellen, and I'll be correcting these essays for you. Let's take a look at the first set you've sent us. This is about employees and if they should stay in the same job or not. Let's say, as significant changes persist across nearly all sectors of the global job market, many different types of workers have found that holding a position is better. At the same time, others believe in moving up the ladder. Carving out a niche and exploring new labor market opportunities is quite productive. Okay, so let's talk about some things here that I think would have made a nice introduction even better. So let's say, as significant changes persist across nearly all sectors of the global job market, here you're fine. Many different types of workers have found that this wasn't clear. There's holding a position just means having a job. Okay, that's not what you're trying to express here. You're trying to express the idea of staying in the same job throughout your entire life. And there are people who do this. So there are people, for example, in maybe the public sector who get a particular job and they never leave. Or, I know some people who are teachers and they never leave their job. Or someone is a bank teller and is a bank teller for his entire career at the same bank. So this is the idea that you want to express. So many different types of workers have found that remaining in the same position, and then you wrote is better, but that implies some sort of comparison. Is better than what? Okay, so if you're going to write something like this, you need to make this statement clear. So one suggestion would be, many different types of workers have found that staying in the same position is better than switching jobs. Okay? And then this too, uh, uh, switching jobs doesn't necessarily mean moving up the career ladder. There's something called a lateral job change. And there can be many reasons why you would do that. So I didn't really agree with this expression either. You could have said something like, at the same time, others believe that the key to success is having different employment experiences. Okay, so that provides a clearer way of expressing what you're trying to say. And then here too, carving out a niche and exploring new labor opportunities is quite productive. Now, there are a couple of things I want here. Number one, you're asked to take a side, are you not? Let's see. It says, to what extent do you agree or disagree? So you want to put something we call a signpost. You want to have some sort of expression which shows, ladies and gentlemen, this is my opinion. You could do that with something like, in my opinion, or you could say personally. You could say, personally, comma, I believe that it is more productive to gain new labor market opportunities through different jobs. All right. That would have been a clearer way of saying, between these two options, I prefer this one. Okay. I didn't feel like these vocabulary expressions you used here really did you a favor in getting your idea across. All right, let's continue. Finding another job helps workers to master new skills that reevaluate their careers. Reevaluate is the wrong word here. Maybe that re-energizes. Okay, that would have been a better word. Or revitalizes, also good. This means practicing previous experience again and acquiring adaptive functions. Taking on responsibility for new duties and being highly competitive in the labor market requirements is essential as uncertainties challenge the workplace with financial stability, the health insurance, and other factors. All right, I'm not really a big fan of this sentence. I don't feel like it's helping your essay. I don't feel like it's taking it in the right direction. So we'll talk about it in a bit. For example, during the pandemic crisis of COVID-19, widespread unemployment. I don't understand that. Okay. Many companies laid off staff, and only those considerably efficient could stay at their job. Okay. So, Let's take a look at what's happening in this paragraph. There's a lot happening, so let's see if we can kind of go through it step by step. So you're saying, again, we said revitalize was a better word here. So, in other words, if you get a new job, you gain new skills, it revitalizes your career. Okay? Which means you're combining your previous experience and new skills. Fine. And then this sentence for me just really didn't help. Okay? Because this was also wrong with financial stability. It didn't make sense to me. So they gain, and this means practicing previous experiences they gained. Not you practice experience. How about this means utilizing previous experience gained and also acquiring adaptive functions. Okay? And then you could say this makes an employee far more attractive as they show the soft skill of being flexible and adaptive. Okay? And then maybe this sentence would have then made sense. But I think it's a better way of expressing it than this. Here you ran into some problems. Okay, let's continue. Generally, taking risks is profitable, and changing your current job is supposed to raise the perks and benefits significantly. People need to know when to jump and take another job opportunity. In some cases, depending on the job you already do, you can get a better profit and experience. Nowadays, households are being hit by higher pressure on the cost of living because of the inflationary squeeze income with unaffordable. Okay, I don't know what this paragraph is about. I'm confused. Now, let's take a look at this again. Some people think this, some people think you should think this. To what extent do you agree? And then what did you say here? You said carving out a niche and exploring new opportunities. So you're in favor of switching jobs. So maybe what you needed to do here is really just have a clearer topic sentence. All right. I didn't really feel that this covered the central idea of this paragraph, and that's what your topic sentence should be doing. So maybe you could have said something like, another benefit of switching jobs is it provides greater opportunities for more perks and benefits. Okay? And then you can, again, I didn't really feel like this sentence helped. It didn't really develop on that idea. So you could have said that many people find that they are able to negotiate a higher salary and more benefits when they uh, take a new position rather than when they stay at their old job. Okay. And then I wouldn't have said this because this is irrelevant, isn't it? This is not what they've asked you about. They haven't asked you about the higher cost of living or, the fact that households are being hit with high prices. This is all irrelevant information. So you need to stick to the information that's that develops your ideas. Okay, so could you have talked maybe about something else? Maybe another reason why staying at the same or switching jobs is good. Maybe you could have talked about, you could have said something like, there is also social gain one one obtains when switching jobs. They widen their social circle. They learn to interact with new groups of people, and this develops their soft skills. Soft skills are becoming more and more important in our workplace today, making a person more a more desirable employee. Okay, so something like that. Okay, so that's the direction you need to be taking this essay in. Oh, okay. You've got another paragraph. I was not expecting that. Let's see. Psychological aspects are relevant for work. Recent jobs enhance well-being and safety. All right, there's a problem with this sentence. It's essentially two sentences that you've just joined together by a comma, and that doesn't work. Uh, okay. You could have said something like, since psychological aspects are relevant for work, changing jobs enhances well-being and safety. Or how about this? There is no doubt that psychological aspects are important, not relevant, important for work, and rather new jobs or changing jobs enhances one's well-being and safety. Okay, so you have to combine them, not just with a comma. It's not enough. New adaptation processes allow workers to expand personal connections, leaving previous routines. Okay, that's similar to what I said. On the other hand, staying on the course for too many years in the same company occasionally could be good for you only if you really love the kind of job you do. Now, I would not have added this at all. All this sentence does, this sentence does, is it weakens your argument. You don't want to put it here. And especially so close to the conclusion. It's as if you've spent this entire essay building your argument about why it's important to switch jobs. And then right before you're done, it's like you say, oh, well, the other side is kind of true too, though. And you don't want to do that because that really weakens what you've worked on for the entire essay. Okay? All right. So, also, I need to let you know that we generally recommend a 4-paragraph structure. So, introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and then you had a 3. I would have gotten rid of some of this and I would have attached it to that previous paragraph like we talked about before. To finalize, in my opinion, if you feel you are getting stuck in a company where you don't have the opportunities to grow, not grow up. Grow up is what children do. You want to grow. You should start looking for a different option that offers you better perks and benefits. Okay, that's fine. So, Catherine, you should have some ideas about what was strong in this essay and then what needed work. It was a bit of different things. I thought some of your vocabulary was problematic, especially in the first half of the essay. You had some really unnatural expressions. And then there were problems with coherence and cohesion as far as like paragraphing, and then also in organizing your ideas. Related to that was also some issues with task achievement, where I didn't feel like there were some areas developed appropriately or as much as they should have been. Okay. All right. Okay, so I see you're using some vocabulary. That's nice. Let's talk about the English and homestay letter. Dear Sir or Madam, my name is Katherine Peguero. I will stay at your homestay as I improve my English skills at a program. I am ready to express my interest in the UK's society, ideas, customs, and social behavior of UK society. All right, let's clean this up a little bit. It does need some fixing. So let's do that. Dear Sir and Madam, the first thing I would do in a formal letter, because that's what this is I would state the reason why I am writing. That's what we do in a formal letter, not informal, but in a formal letter. So I would say, Dear Sir or Madam, I am writing to not express your interest. I'm writing to thank you for agreeing to be my host family for the English and Homestay program. Okay, I kind of got the sense that you don't understand what this essay is about. So you're part of a program, and the program has you staying in people's homes rather than a hotel or a dorm. So you're going to be staying in the people's homes. And so what you want to do is you want to write them to say, hi, hey, I'm going to be living with you throughout this program. And then you want to ask them some questions. Okay. So what I would have done is, Dear Sir or Madam, I am writing to thank you for agreeing to host me as part of the English and Homestay program. And then I would say, my name is Katherine Peguero, and then you have to introduce yourself. So what would you say? You could say, I am an education student in the 3rd year of university. I love swimming and singing karaoke. All right, that's an introduction. Okay? Some of the language here was a little strange, so I would not use a lot of this. So let's continue. Knowing the appropriate form to communicate and avoid conflict and misunderstanding is vital. For instance, I would appreciate distinguishing indirect communication styles. Also, explain in detail those popular holidays where people usually gather to celebrate and the variety of sports you recommend me to practice. Other relevant information includes transportation facilities, visiting tourist attractions, and museums and traditional food. Can you give some advice about them? What about weather conditions and the most appropriate clothes to wear? Okay. So I felt like this had some issues. Let me tell you what they are. This really felt like you were organizing it like a task two. So it almost felt like a topic sentence and it felt a little unnatural. So rather than saying something like this, I think it would have been better if you had said, prior to my arrival in the UK, I have some questions I would like to ask. All right. So then this way the people know, oh, okay, we're going to hear questions now. Okay. And then, for instance, I would appreciate this wasn't clear to me. I didn't understand what you meant. Like, how can they tell you in a letter how to distinguish indirect communication styles? So maybe you could have written something else that made a little more sense. Um, let's see. So maybe how about maybe perhaps you can explain some some social nuances I should avoid so that I can fit in. All right, that would explain. And then I didn't like the language of this, explain in detail. It's a little forceful. This is a formal letter, and so you want to be as polite as possible. So you're not going to order them to explain in detail. Instead, you're going to say, also, if you could, please explain in detail the most popular holidays where people usually gather to celebrate and the variety of sports you recommend me to practice. That's fine. And then this was not a sentence, or it was a fragment, really. Other relevant information includes that's not really a question. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's got a subject and it's got a verb. So it is a sentence. I take back what I said, but it doesn't feel like it belongs in a formal letter. Instead, you could have said something like, my other questions concern transportation facilities, visiting tourist attractions, museums, and traditional food. Full stop. I would appreciate any advice you could offer about them. So, what we do in a formal letter is we don't ask direct questions. Can you give me some advice? No, we say, would you mind telling me? Could you let me know? I would appreciate it if you could tell me. This is indirect language, and this is what belongs in this kind of letter. This was a direct question. It's fine. I mean, not every sentence can be an indirect question. So I let it slide, okay? I appreciate the opportunity to get accommodation in your house. All right, again, a little awkward. I appreciate the opportunity to stay with your family. All right, you don't say to get accommodation in someone's house. So I appreciate the opportunity to stay with your family. Period. Full stop. I will be spending 3 months from May 1st till July 30th. See you soon, and I will drink tea with you. Now, it does say something else. Schedule a date and time of schedule a date of arrival and time. You did not give that information. Okay? All you told us is when you went the day when you arrived, but you didn't tell us anything else. You're supposed to say, my flight arrives at London Heathrow Airport at 12:40 p.m. on May the 1st. I plan to take a taxi to your home, so I anticipate being there by 4 p.m. Okay? That's what you need to do here. All right, Catherine. So that, no, it doesn't. Hold on one second. Who did you address this to? Dear sir or madam. So you're not going to end it kind regards. You're going to end it yours faithfully. This is what we do when we don't know the name of the person you are writing to. Okay? So let's see if you can apply the suggestions in this set. I'm looking forward to your next one. Best of luck to you.